Welcome back to the third video on text formulas. In this video, we're going to go over find, replace, and substitute formulas. Let's go. All right, we're back to the same data example. And let's first start off with find. And so the find formula is really very similar to that search formula we just learned in the previous video. So if you remember, search was, right here it says it returns the number of the character at which a specific character or text string is first found. Reading left to right, and look at here, it says it's not case sensitive. So the find formula is really similar, except for it is case sensitive. So it returns the starting point of one text string within another text string. Find is case sensitive. It's the same arguments that it's asking for information here. So it says find the text within what text, and then it gives a starting number. So let's look at what search was. Search was find text within text and then starting number. So it's the exact same parameters. The only difference is that find is case sensitive, whereas search is not case sensitive. So let's test this. So search was find text, let's say hardware, within this text, and then close it up. It says it's on number 9. So I'm going to pop in here, hold shift, hit home to highlight the entire thing, hit Control C, enter down, and then I'm just going to paste it. Okay, so I'm going to hop into this formula, F2, and then switch search and change it to find and hit enter. And the reason why I have this value sign is saying I don't see hardware in this text string right here, where obviously we can all see hardware, but the thing is that it's the case sensitivity. So it says specifically, I don't see capital H, capital A, capital R, and so forth. So we need to change that to hardware, lowercase after the H, and it comes up the same answer. That's really the only difference with that. You can use find within, combination again with like the mid function or left or right formulas to be able to find a specific spot that you want to start at. Again, it's going to return a number, and the number is the character where it starts at. So that is the find formula. All right, so let's move on to the next formula, replace. And I'm going to go quickly over this one because it's not used very often. So replace, and what it says actually, it says replace part of a text string with a different text string. So what information does it need? It needs the old text. So we're going to start with this as the old text, and then say the starting number. So this is where you would put in like either the search or the find. We just found the number of characters, the starting position of where hardware was, and it was like the 9th position. So I could manually key in 9 right here. Otherwise, you would reference or use the search or find formula to get to number 9. Then say the number of characters that I want to replace. So it's going to start at hardware, and it's saying, how many characters do I want to replace of hardware? Maybe I want to just replace hard with soft, so software. So I would say I want to replace the first 4, and then that new text would be soft, S-O-F-T, and then close the parentheses. And now it says 2015 to 13 software kit. Okay, you can do the exact same thing by holding Control and H, and the find and replace dialog box appears, and you can say I want to search for hardware or hard, and then replace it with soft, and hit replace. And you can see it change there. The difference is I specifically was looking for hard. Well, this one, if I drag it down, it's not looking for hard. It's looking for the 9th position. So to switch it with soft. So that's the difference. It's not always looking for the same thing. Just note that there is a difference between the dialog box of find and replace and the formula replace. All right, now let's go to the next formula, and that is the substitute formula. So let's pretend here that we need to use this to substitute maybe these like bars here, the vertical bars, with, let's say we want to switch them with dashes. So substitute would be a great formula to use. And so it says it replaces existing text with new text in a text string. So it's really more similar to the find and replace dialog box than the two formulas find and replace that we just learned about. So this is what I'm talking about. So substitute, I'm looking at this text, and then the old text that I want to replace is the dash. So make sure that you put that into double quotes, in between double quotes, and then the new text. I'm looking for the vertical bar, and I want to replace it with new text as a dash. And I want to close the parentheses. Remember that, let me back up, that the instance number, since it's actually in brackets here, it's not a needed parameter, it's optional. So you can see all of those vertical bars now change to dashes. Basically the same thing as saying, holding Control and H together and having the dialog box appear and saying, I want to switch all vertical bars to dashes, and just saying replace. And it does the same thing, right? And that's real quick and simple. And same with this formula, this is real quick and simple as well. Get that back to the vertical bars. What's cool about this though is this instance number. So you could say, hey, I don't want to look at the first, second, or third vertical bars. I just want the fourth one. So this is a strict coding sequence right here. So the structure is very strict. So there's always going to be 4 vertical bars. And therefore I can say I only want the 4th bar or the 4th instance to be changed. So it's going to look like this, bar, 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 and then a dash. So that's what's kind of cool about the substitute formula, is that you have that instance number that you can specifically say, I want the second one to be like that. So a vertical bar, a dash, vertical bar, vertical bar. That's the difference with substitute.